This is Top 30. Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Kristen Smith. We have 30 stories in 30 minutes coming up. Mariah Carey opens up about her bipolar diagnosis. We'll take a closer look at the condition. And one woman's bold move is a step closer to closing the wage gap. And a 32-year-old basketball player proves that good things come to those who wait.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Let's get started with a new study that shows you may want to take a little extra time cleaning your strawberries before you eat them. They ranked at the top of the list for pesticide contamination out of 47 fruits and vegetables. An independent group that does the research and releases an annual list found a third of all the strawberry samples contain 10 or more pesticide residues, with one sample containing 22. This is the third year in a row that strawberries top the list. Spinach, nectarines, apples, and grapes ranked 2 through 5. Overall, nearly 70% of non-organic produce samples had some sort of contamination, according to this study. But the most recent U.S. Department of Agriculture report found when pesticides are found on foods, the level is almost always safe for humans to eat the item. However, I would always wash your strawberries just in case. Now let's go to the New York Stock Exchange for our Fox Business Minute with Nicole Petalides. Nicole, another day, another new innovation from Apple.
That's right, Kristen. Apple recently filed a patent to use advanced sensors on a new Apple Watch that can analyze your sports performance or your physical activity. The band would basically analyze how your wrist moves while using equipment such as golf clubs or barbells. Snapchat's parent company may release a new version of its spectacles, which weren't very successful the first time around. The new version will reportedly be redesigned and come with an electronic ID label accessible within the Snapchat app. Spotify is planning a new version of its free music service. This according to Bloomberg. The company is looking to boost user growth since non-paying listeners are a key source for subscription streaming.
Well, that's exciting. And I hear Spotify has something else in the works.
Well, this isn't confirmed yet, but some reports say the company will be unveiling a speaker. This as rivals such as Apple, Alphabet, and Amazon sell new home speakers.
All right, we'll keep an eye out. Thanks, Nicole. Now let's go to Danielle Knox from Fox 35 Orlando. She has what you need to know today. Danielle, I love a good hashtag, but I hear Instagram is removing some.
Hi there, Kristen. That's right. Well, Instagram says it wants to remove fentanyl from your feed. The app is getting rid of drug-related hashtags. Drug dealers and scammers reportedly use them on the photo sharing app. Instagram says it has zero tolerance for content that puts the safety of their community at risk. New research shows millennials have little to no basic kitchen knowledge at all. It shows they cook less than any other group and struggle to make classics like omelets or even cheeseburgers. And only 64% of millennials can identify a butter knife. Well, as if we don't already have enough going on in our heads, researchers at MIT have created a headset called Alter Ego that can basically read your mind. The device detects tiny signals in the jaw and the face that are triggered by internal thoughts, but are undetectable to the human eye. Researchers say it already has a 92% accuracy rate. I don't want people knowing what I'm thinking all the time. I don't know about you, Kristen, but that's what you need to know. Let's go back to you now.
You know, I'm going to have to pass on that one, but thanks, Danielle. On a more serious note now, opening statements in Bill Cosby's retrial began this week, and the man once dubbed America's Dad pleaded not guilty to 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault. Andrea Constand, now 44, accused Bill Cosby, now 80, of drugging and sexually assaulting her at Cosby's home in Pennsylvania in 2004. Cosby's first trial ended with a hung jury in June of last year. In their opening statement, the prosecution, led by District Attorney Kevin Steele, revealed to the jury a $3.4 million civil settlement that Cosby paid to Constand in 2006. Experts say Steele is trying to plant the seed in jurors' minds. Why would Cosby pay such a large amount for something he didn't do? But Cosby's defense attorney, Thomas Mesereau, who's best known for getting an acquittal in Michael Jackson's child molestation case, tried to portray Cosby as the true victim. Mesereau used the large settlement payment to paint Constand as a money-hungry liar, telling jurors she was madly in love with his fame and money. Dozens of women have accused Cosby of rape and sexual assault, although many of those accusations were made after the statute of limitations had already passed. Constand's case is the rare exception. The trial is expected to last about a month. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Top 30. I'm joined by veterinarian Dr. Courtney Campbell to talk about how pets can boost morale at the office. And you brought Sir Bosley here with you. And it's so obvious. As soon as Sir Bosley walked in, I feel like everyone got a little extra pep in their step.
Yeah, it's literally impossible not to feel good when Sir Bosley is with you. You know what I mean? Like, he just is an instant mood enhancement.
I know.
But, you know, there's been studies that look into this, and about 83%, that's the number of pet parents that feel a boost of morale when their companies allow them to bring pets into the office. Yeah. They feel a greater sense of loyalty to the company, and that for employers leads to a greater sense of productivity. So it works out very well.
Absolutely, and it makes sense. So are there companies who encourage bringing your pets to work right now?
Yeah, there really are, and Amazon is the most well-known for this. They have 2 dog-friendly parks on their campus. So Dog Park on the work campus is a great idea. Of course, Mars, Google, Build-A-Bear, they all have been celebrated for being so pet-friendly, and a lot of companies, and Sir Bosley's kind of bored with us right now, but a lot of companies are including pet insurance and bereavement leave as part of their packages. So listen, the bottom line is companies look at pets as part of the family.
Well, now Sir Bosley is part of the Top 30 family, making himself very comfy down there. I want to cuddle with him, but right now he's having his alone time.
Yes, but a high snuggle factor. Yeah, high snuggle factor.
He really does. Well, thank you so much. Great information.
Oh, it's great being here. Thanks.
A new court ruling makes it harder for companies to pay women less than men. According to a decision by the U.S. Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, women can't be paid less than male coworkers based on their salary at previous jobs. Eileen Rizzo was a consultant at the Fresno County Office of Education, where she trained school teachers. She learned a new hire was earning $13,000 a year more than she did, even though he had less experience and education. Management told Rizzo her pay was based on her prior salary, so she sued and won. In the decision, Judge Stephen Reinhart said, if money talks, the message to women costs more than just billions. Women are told they are not worth as much as men. In the U.S., women earn an average of 82 cents for every dollar paid to men. It costs women more than $860 billion a year. Rizzo told the L.A. Times she has 3 daughters and wanted to make the world a better place for them. Well, for the first time, Mariah Carey has revealed that she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. Here to tell us more is Dr. Jorge Rodriguez. Doctor, thanks for being here. What are some of the signs of bipolar disorder?
The main symptoms of being bipolar is what the name states. 2 states of being. One is depression, where you're just down. Sometimes you stay in bed for months or years. And then the next one is mania, where you want to conquer the world, where you can build a building, where you can do everything.
This story actually hits very close to home for me because I have someone in my immediate family who has the extreme case of bipolar disorder, the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing. But talk about the lesser extreme, because I think people would be interested to know that there's emotional instability and then there's bipolar disorder.
Absolutely. It can be confused sometimes very easily with depression. So it varies from person to person. Now, each of us, we can vacillate from minute to minute, feeling good, feeling bad. That's not bipolar disorder. So this needs to be diagnosed by a professional because there's treatment for this.
Yeah, and let's talk about that treatment.
Most bipolar disorders are treated with medications. Sometimes you have to use multiple medications, but it is very treatable. And again, you know what I say, don't be afraid of the medication. Be afraid of the disease because it can affect everyone around you, not just you.
Yeah, that's good to know. Great information, Doctor. Thank you for being here. Top 30, we'll be right back. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg had his first day of testimony in front of the Senate on Tuesday. He seemed to confuse the senators with technological jargon, and one even said, "Your user agreement sucks." When addressing why Facebook allowed Cambridge Analytica to access personal info from 87 million users, Zuckerberg had this to say.
We did take action. We took down the app, and we demanded that both the app developer and Cambridge Analytica delete and stop using any data that they had. They told us that they did this. In retrospect, it was clearly a mistake to believe them.
And Airbus plans to put bunk bed-style sleeping pods in the cargo hold of jets by 2020. Because of airline safety regulations, the pods will likely just be available for a few hours at a time. Airbus hasn't said yet how the pods will be marketed to customers, but if I'm going to be sleeping in the cargo hold of an airplane, I certainly hope there's a discount. Just saying. All right, here's a really cool story now. A 32-year-old basketball player who spent the last 10 years playing in the NBA's minor league got the surprise of his life. Andre Ingram thought he was going through a routine exit interview after his team's season ended, but the Lakers signed him for the last couple games of the season.
Thank you also for, I know we're supposed to meet tomorrow, but we had to move the exit meeting up to today because the LA Lakers want to call you up and sign you for the rest of the season.
I wonder why those two big guys are back here. Wow.
The two big guys he mentioned are Magic Johnson, who's the president of basketball operations, and Rob Pelinka, the team's general manager. Ingram got kind of emotional thanking them for the opportunity, and then he called his wife.
They called me up for the last 2 games of the season. She's screaming, you guys can't hear it.
Ingram even got to play in Tuesday night's game for the Lakers and had 19 points in his NBA debut. Looks like good things do come to those who wait. We'll be right back. In today's Hometown Stories from Fox 9 Minneapolis, Dennis Franzen, a local entrepreneur and self-made businessman, gave the entire senior class at Rush City High School a life-changing gift. He offered all 59 seniors a 2-year scholarship to Pine Technical and Community College. Each grant is worth about $5,000 annually, and Franzen is throwing in an extra $1,000 per year for books and supplies. Franzen never went to college, but still built himself a successful banking business in Minnesota. Now, he hopes to inspire these high schoolers to find their passion and follow it.
They need to learn what they're good at, figure out what they're good at.
In our second story from Fox 13 Tampa Bay, 12 new firefighter and paramedic recruits had an unusual day of training. They played a friendly game of dodgeball while wearing 70 pounds of gear. The purpose of the activity was to have them get used to wearing an air mask in a fun environment. But one recruit said the game was harder than it looked.
It might look like it's fun, and it was fun, but it's still work.
In our final story from Fox 10 Phoenix, a new park just broke ground in Gilbert, Arizona, and it'll serve a very noble purpose. It will be called the Welcome Home Veterans Park, and it's dedicated to all of the service members who have fought for our freedom. The park will feature war memorials, tranquility walks, and resource centers. But most importantly, it's a way to say thank you for serving our country. Welcome back. Now it's time for this week's Page Six Fix with Carlos Greer. Carlos, what's going on, my friend?
Well, Kristen, things just seem to keep getting better for designer Marc Jacobs. After proposing to his boyfriend Charlie last week, Marc got a surprise of his own. The one and only Debbie Harry serenaded him for his birthday while sitting on top of a giant cake. The surprise party was held at Soho hotspot Tub Mercer with just close, fabulous friends, including supermodel Naomi Campbell. And more good news, Atlanta Real Housewife Kenya Moore is pregnant with her first child. Kenya, who secretly wed her husband Mark Daly last June, was spotted at an IVF clinic in Barbados in the fall. No word yet on whether it will be a boy or a girl. While Kenya celebrates, another Real Housewife is getting real about Russell Simmons. Luann de Lesseps has come forward claiming that Russell sexually harassed her in an elevator in Miami several summers ago. The housewife says she was grossed out and told him, "Don't ever do that again." And that's this week's Page Six Fix. See you next time.
Thanks, Carlos. For more news and gossip, watch Page Six TV weekdays. Check your local listings. You know, people who go through similar struggles in life can have a bond that no one else understands. A 7-year-old boy in Oklahoma would tell you that bond can also extend to animals. Madden Humphreys was born with a cleft lip and a condition which led to each eye being a different color. He was bullied at school and even made a video that went viral.
Don't be mean to other people that are different. We already been through a lot of hard stuff. Show everybody kindness.
But Madden was still looking for the perfect friend and found him in Moon. Moon is a cat with a cleft lip and one blue and one hazel eye, just like Madden. The family found Moon online, adopted him, and the two have been inseparable ever since. Madden and Moon have their own Instagram page, and Madden's mom says she thinks the two were destined to be friends for life. Such a great story. And another great story here, Sam Barsky from Baltimore, Maryland, is knitting his way around the world. He prepares for each vacation by knitting the place he's going onto a sweater. The 43-year-old artist has become an internet celebrity, and we're excited because he's here with us today. Sam, my friend, you are incredible.
Thank you so much.
Well, I love your Hollywood sweater here. Tell me how all of this started.
It was in 1999. I was at a flea market and I met the owners of a local yarn shop, and I asked them, how do you learn how to knit? And they said, we can teach you for free under the condition that you buy our yarn. And I said, okay.
How many sweaters now have you made?
120.
Do you have all your sweaters with you?
I brought along a few of them with me. So here's the Stonehenge.
Oh my goodness. I love that. You are good.
There's another one that has an Eiffel Tower on it. This is Vegas.
Oh my goodness, that one's really detailed. Does it take a long time to knit each one? How long would you say?
About a month average, some longer, some shorter.
Okay, yeah, I guess it depends on how much detail. What are you working on now?
This is my work in progress now, which is Natural Bridge, Virginia.
Do you have a favorite?
I know I like some better than others, but it's impossible to have a #1 favorite.
Very nice. You know, let me ask you something, Sam. I'm sure this started as kind of like a fun thing, but now has it become something deeper than that?
Yes, it's my career already.
Your career, how so?
Everything I do in my life pretty much is somehow tied to these sweaters.
Sam, thank you so much. It's been fun to talk to you. Seasons are changing, and it's time to get your garden looking good. But if you're worried because you don't have a green thumb, don't worry. We have landscape designer Robert Fisher here to help. Robert, there has to be a foolproof way to garden.
One of my favorite plants to use are coleus. They're very showy leaves, and burgundies and pinks and greens and yellows, and you can plant them in the ground or in pots.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
They are. They're very colorful, and you get instant color right away.
What about herbs? I've always wanted to grow my own herbs. Is that easy?
I love sage. Sages are great because you have two uses of it. The flower itself is purple and showy and beautiful, but the leaf itself you can use for cooking.
Any others?
Lavenders you can buy in several varieties. The flower smells wonderful, and again, the leaf you can crush up and squeeze the oil out and rub it on yourself. It smells very nice and repels bugs.
Oh, nice.
Exactly.
And puts the babies to sleep when they smell it. The lavender bath wash. You know what I'm talking about, moms. Robert, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Recreational marijuana use will soon be legal in Canada, but Calgary City Council has voted to ban the use of weed in public. With a 10-4 vote, the cannabis consumption bylaw will make it illegal to use non-medical marijuana outside of a personal residence. This includes smoking it, vaping, and consuming edibles. Councillor Evan Woolley voted against the ban, citing the city's large tourism population. He said, "You come to the city and you're a tourist going to the mountains to ski, which we are working really hard to get you to do, and you go and buy weed legally in a store, and you go to ask where you can consume that, and we say nowhere, we have a problem there." The province of Alberta has also ruled cannabis lounges will not be allowed. This week we celebrated National Siblings Day, and as any good sibling will tell you, no one quite knows how to push your buttons like a brother or sister. Paige Failing from Fox 46 Charlotte joins us now. Paige, that's something you know a thing or two about, right?
Oh, yeah. I shared, just like everybody else did on social media this week, a picture of me and my big brother, basically acknowledging the miracle that our great adult relationship is in light of all the fights we had growing up. So this led to some discussions and some discoveries like this one, highlighting the joys that come with family dynamics. This is a sign that we found from Mat Business here in Charlotte, heralding the fact that they're family owned. Yay, right? Then they go on to say on the same sign, "Shut up. No, you shut up." Of course, they could have gone with other classics like "Mine, that's not fair," or my personal favorite, "You're not the boss of me." I'm sure you have never said any of these, Kristen, but kids in the car passing this sign themselves probably also said the classic, "Are we there yet?"
You know, Paige, I have 3 sisters, and since I'm pretty sure they're watching right now, I would like to share we have never said any of those things. Thanks, Paige. A new tool could make children less afraid of going to the doctor using virtual reality. Health Voyager helps young patients understand their medical condition by using VR to take them inside their own body. It was developed by Click Health and is currently being tested by Boston Children's Hospital. The patient's actual data is uploaded by their doctor to create the virtual model. Because it's for kids, the 3D models are more animated and less medical looking than the real thing. Then they can view their exact medical condition or procedure using Google Cardboard or another VR headset with some guidance from a doctor. The idea is that children will feel less scared if they better understand what's happening to them. We often have limited time with doctors, and medical jargon can be confusing for anyone, let alone kids. The vice president of Click said the problem it's trying to solve is the communication between the patient and physician. If the study is successful, its creators say Health Voyager could also be used by adults. And that's it for today's Top 30. Here's what's coming up on our next show. A new report breaks down the best cities to live in. Plus, more towns are seeing outbreaks of dog flu. We'll have tips to keep your pet safe. And after tragedy struck a Canadian hockey team, their community rallied together. Top 30 also covers more of the day's stories live on Facebook every day at 9:30 Pacific, 12:30 Eastern. We'll see you next time here on Top 30.